The Platts are facing more stress and upheaval in Coronation Street next week following Gail Platt's unexpected hospital dash. But as the family rally around her hospital bedside, tensions are high as David feels that he is responsible. When Jess Chadwick questions David on his guilt, he snaps at him. Are Jess's suspicions of David confirmed? Meanwhile, when Shauna reveals that Jesse has gone back to no aid alone, David panics. Damon Hay also calls Sarah and explains that while it got him a beating, he's shifted the blame for the theft of the money onto one of Harvey's associates, leaving them in the clear. Soon, Jesse has an announcement which will stun the Platt family. Elsewhere, Bethany prepares breakfast for Daniel Osborne at the flat. But when he enters without knocking and sees her stomo bag for the first time, Bethany's mortified and yells at him to get out. What can Daniel do to help her? Meanwhile, with Nick Tilsley out, Toya Habib calls round to keep an eye on Sam Blakeman. Initially hostile, Sam softens when Toya apologizes to him. Nick arrives home to find them making models. Nick's hugely impressed at how Toya's managed to win Sam round. But when Nick declares he still loves her, Toya pulls him in for a kiss. Can they really rekindle their relationship? Later, Lean Battersby tells Nick she can't face being front of house after the Institute fallout and suggests he hire someone. Nick offers Toya the job of bistro manager, telling Toya they make a great team, and it would get Leanne used to seeing them together. Also on the cobbles, while working on a case of a vandalized car DS, Lisa Swain realizes the car was damaged on the same road Joel Deering was attacked on the same night, and the owner remembered hearing two men arguing outside his flat. She confides in Dee Dee Bailey that the car was hit by a red car, and when Lisa discovers Ronnie's red car was in for repair, she tackles him in the Rovers. Later in the flat, Carla is praising Lisa for her work and juggling motherhood, but as Carla lays a comforting hand on her, Lisa flinches and makes a swift exit, leaving Carla gutted. Once back at home, when Betsy walks into the bathroom and sees Lisa's bruises, she is not convinced about her excuse of doing it at a body combat class. Finding a bottle of painkillers dated September 28th, she tells Mason and is shocked when he says Joel was killed on the 27th. When Daisy Midgley mentions Joel was in a fight on the night he was killed, Betsy is shaken. Meanwhile, Ryan Connor questions whether Carla's been honest about her own movements on the night in question. Carla insists she nipped out to switch off the factory lights. Lisa ends up lying to Betsy, making out her bruises were the result of an office injury, while Carla admits to Bobby Crawford that on the night of Joel's murder, she nipped to the factory. But she told the police she was at home all evening with him and Ryan. As the investigation into Joel's death continues at the station, Lisa points out to Kit Green that if Joel was planning to go on the run, he would have had some personal belongings with him, and if they find those, it could lead them to his killer. Kit's annoyed at her interference. A formal complaint made against her. A fired-up Lisa accuses Daisy and Kit. There's also drama, as when Liam Connor unwittingly steps out in front of Chesney Brown's car, Mason Radcliffe grabs him and yanks him to safety. Mason tells Liam he's sorry for the bullying and assures him he's a changed person. But having witnessed their intense exchange, Dev Allahan tells Gary Windows, who takes matters into his own hands. And when Cassie Plummer reveals she's going on a date later, Steve McDonald's disparaging about the man she's meeting. Cassie reckons he sounds jealous. But when her date doesn't go to plan, Steve comes to the rescue, takes her to the Rovers, and boosts her self-esteem. Is the spark between them reignited? The following day at No One, Ken's oblivious that Cassie and Steve spent the night together. Adam Barlow calls round and is perturbed to learn Ken's forked out for airport lounge tickets and first-class flights. Adam confides in Steve that he's worried where Ken is finding the money to fund his and Cassie's lavish lifestyle and fears he's running up debts, so they'd agree that, once Ken and Cassie return from Porto, a family intervention is needed.